Hey, good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? This is Kevin Chan here, 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning. Right, so yes, today we're going to be doing the monthly forecast. Right, so very fast. We are going into the month of April, which is the month of Dragon. And we are specifically moving into the month of the Metal Dragon. Right, so yeah, right. So dragon is the third month in the Chinese solar calendar, right? So the first animal that mark the transition into the years is usually the tiger. So tiger, rabbit, right now is the dragon. Right? So of course, if it's in the English calendar, then it's already first quarter gone. Yeah, start to get worried already now. Right? So just 1 quarter, 3 months all gone. Right. So now we're into the fourth month of the year already. So how's all your objective been doing? Right. So I see Lai Ping just joining here. Melanie is around. Pepper is around. So good morning to everybody. Right. So it's also end of the month. It's the last day of the month already. Right. So it's 31st of March. Tomorrow is going to be 1st of April. So everybody be careful of tomorrow, okay? 1st of April, all the prankster is out. Hello, Eve. Hey, do you guys still celebrate like 1st of April? April Fool Day. Right? So I don't know, like it used to be something that when I was young, which is not very long time ago. Right, we used to prank people around, right? So I don't know whether nowadays the some of the what we call major advertising companies still do that. So last time, yeah, major advertising company, come up with stuff like, oh, we are closing down or whatever it is. Yeah, let's see lah, right? So no actual feedback on what's going to happen on 1st of April, but it's not really a too big of a thing. Maybe it's getting a bit old. All right, but anyway, come. Let's go in and take a look at all the 10-day master information. Hello, master at all thing. How are you doing? Right, so you can see that this particular month I'm using a Dwarven castle, right? So Dwarven castle, the Geng itself, is a fortress, right? So we call it's a fortress. It's a high ground protective zone where there's a lot of treasure inside, So it's one of those adventure place that you see people go inside trying to get the treasure, and often there are some dragon sleeping inside at the treasure trove, right? So it's those kind of situation. So this is the month whereby we can talk about resource reorganization. It's the third month already. So again, it's the third month of the year. You would have done something about your goals for the year. You have executed something on the goals of the year. You would have meet with some resistance, whether internal or external, right? So I think it's a good time for you to take stock on what resources that you have not been using, or what resources that you have accidentally left out, from your arsenal, right? So it's good time to go back into the fortress to check whether you have a sufficient amount of thing, and then decided what should you go out and get, right? So a lot of time your objective cannot be achieved is only because of lack of knowledge or lack of skill set, right? So what you can do is that go out and acquire the knowledge and skill set. Is nothing too special about it, right? Come, let's go in and take a look at it. As usual, getting in touch with me, either you go to Telegram, where there's a lot of things to download there, or you can go to the monthly newsletter, right? So by the way, the what we call the monthly forecast, the written version is published in the monthly newsletter. It's usually published way earlier than the video version of it. So you want to get the written version to read, just sign up for the newsletter, drop your email into the subscription, right? So then you get it. So that's free. Or you can come and join us in the community page, which is this page that you are looking at right now, the Facebook page, right? So this is where you can pop in question and everything, so that we can assist you in way of sourcing for group answer. I can see Stuart just wake up and come in, and there's Winnie Leong there. Hi, good morning. How are you doing? Right, so back to here, right? So if you're not printed your BaZi chart yet, right? So go to Typing Astro, so which is the company that I'm working with in terms of providing charts, right? So whether it is a achievement chart, is a BaZi chart, feng shui chart is coming up, is on the horizon for launching. Right, so what happened here is that you go and look for your DayMaster, right? So you go and look for your DayMaster, right? So this particular forecast is DayMaster focus. It's not animal sign focus, right? So the one that you normally have in the market is all animal sign focus. I have moved a bit away from the animal sign focus because you guys listen to me a lot of time already. The animal sign are not stable, right? So the day master, there are 10 of you, 10 different day masters, so you can basically check which day master you are. Your day master won't change over time. Once you plotted it one time, already, then your day master remain the same for the rest of your life, and you can just reuse that particular information, right? So for those of you who don't want to remember your BaZi chart as in the all 8 character, just remember the day master, right? So the day master is one of the more important component, right? So like for example, this particular day master is a Kui water, right? So this one is a Kui water, right? So no, and you can take a look. So we'll do all 10, all 10 of them. We'll talk about it, right? So if you take a look at the calendar, right? So we are at the 3rd, right? So which is starting on the 4th of April until 4th of May, right? So that's where the actual month is, right? So no, why doesn't it follow the Gregorian calendar? Because we don't care about the Gregorian calendar. Simple as that, right? So please don't go and think that the Gregorian calendar is almighty, all powerful. There are those of us who don't care about them. Okay, right? So it's pretty simple, right? So just take a look at it. So there's still plenty of month to go, right? So don't get panicked. If your objective or your annual resolution isn't going the direction that you need to go. So the entire idea is to make adjustment, every now and then, so that you achieve at least most of your goal. Not possible for you to say that I got 10 goal, I need to achieve all 10 of them, right? So to me is if you got 10 goal, you can achieve 5, 6, you are already magnificent, right? So if you can achieve 3, you're already doing very, very well. So don't worry about all the actual number game is not a number game, right? So this is the 3rd month, right? So if you take a look, this particular month carry 2 auspicious auxiliary star, right? So auxiliary star is just one of the system that is applied in BaZi. In BaZi, there's many system that runs. Auxiliary star is one of the oldest, very familiar, very comfortable system. So that's why it's one of the system that is very well used, especially for annual forecast. Annual forecast is basically an entire Sensha system. That's so pretty simple. Sensha is just a term, right? Don't get too overly excited. Right. So sky happiness has to be do with upgrading of the current situation, right? So it is one of the ultimate, if it's not the best, what we call attraction star there is, right? So or you call it peach blossom. Yeah, sky happiness is a peach blossom star, by the way, right? So it functions in such a way it upgrade your situation. So in relationship means that if you're single, you'll be able to find your partner. If you already have a someone, then you might get married. If you get married, you might get children. If you get children, you might get more children, more children, more children, more children, more children, more children, more children. So it's basically telling you that there are this a happy occasion that you get to join up, right? So it's pretty awesome, right? So sky happiness, right? So and then heavenly officer is giving you the ability to meet up with people of higher authority. So if you got high happiness and sky happiness and heavenly officer together, it is a very good time for you to throw a party to thanks those people who are at the upper level, right? So now upper level mean whatever that your definition is upper level is, right? So it can be your senior senpai, So in the Japanese word it's called senpai, in Chinese we call 前辈. So you can see senpai and 前辈 is basically same wording, right? So it's just pronunciation is a bit different, right? So to go and meet them, thanks them, show your gratitude to them, right? So and in turn, they will basically be looking at you and see that oh no, look like you're a very thankful person, I can help you, right? So it's actually quite a celebrative month if you want to take a look at, right? So use it for celebrative purpose, use it for gratefulness, thankfulness purpose, right? Especially go and thanks those people who you respect. Officer mean the people that you respect, to tell them that how appreciative you are as to their contribution to your life. Hello Kelly, how you doing? Right, so there is always when you talk about a pillar, there's always one pillar that combines pretty well, and there's always one pillar that reject pretty well, right? So the yi yu is the full combined pillar, and then the jia xu is the full clash pillar. So what does it mean is that if you got yi yu or you got jia xu in your BaZi chart, anywhere of it, right? So just now I tell you go type in astro, print it out, right? The 4 pillar, any one of it got this particular month, the impact is higher to you. That's all only. Don't talk about whether it's good, whether it's bad. The good and bad need to be interpreted together with your circumstance. Right? So because rejecting certain energy doesn't mean it's bad. Right? It could be good one. Being able to reject certain energy or combining certain energy not necessarily be good. Right? So let's not talk about from that, but just for you to know that hey, right? So if you got these two pillar this month, the impact is actually much more higher. All right. So take a look at that lah. Right, so just now we'll look at it because the month basically transition on the Kui Water day. So we will start off with the Kui Water lah, or else my menu can never get used, you see. Right, I spend time designing the menu. So I have to use lah. Hello Saul, how are you doing? Right, so hello Xiang Ying, how are you doing? Good morning to you and Selamat Hari Raya, correct. Right, so today is the official first day of the Raya. Right, so for those of you celebrating Raya, Selamat Hari Raya, right? So have a great Raya. Right, so now Kui Water, right? So Kui Water, when they take a look at the Geng metal, the Geng metal is translated to direct resource, and then the Earth is translated to direct officer, right? So now direct resource, direct officer. If you've been following me on the we are doing the 10 God leads in the BaZi essential series, right? So we are doing the 10 God, right? So the direct resource and the direct officer is part of the 10 God. And you guys know already, right? Those with the word direct, which is the direct wealth, direct officer, direct resource. In the BaZi world, they belong to the good guy clan. Right. So which means that this particular month with the direct resource and direct officer is a positive month for somebody to learn things with people who has authority, right? So when we talk about people who have authority, basically mean that this particular person has gone through the process. They have experienced the process, they are better lah. So that's why you elect them as a authority, right? So you elect the fellow as an officer because it was expected that this person can handle those situations better than you. So you give them the confidence that they can make better decisions. So when these two add up together means that it is a process of diligently refining your knowledge. It's a diligent knowledge refinement process. Right? So this one I just picked up something called rainwater harvesting as an example for you all. Right? So if you want to do rainwater harvesting, provided that please you check back your country. Some country actually doesn't allow you to harvest rainwater, which is very weird, right? You cannot collect rainwater. Yes, some country, some state in US actually made this illegal. So you just careful, right? So the entire idea is how do you collect the water? How do you collect the water? How do you use the water? Right? So this one is a very elaborated one, whereby you got underwater tank, blah blah blah. Right. So but for you to really fully utilize the water that's in the harvest, right? So for you to harvest it correctly, it's actually a very long process of learning how to do this, right? So like you need to learn what are the rain level, right? So because if your tank is too big, your rain level is not there, it will never be full. Then what's the point? That was the point, right? So and then you need to calculate the actual usage of the water. Right? So again, right, if you collected water, you don't really use the water, also no use. Hello Shirley, hello Manny, how are you doing? Right, so also not much of a use, right? So that's the case, right? And also just tell you first, the reason why a lot of the state in US actually disallowed rainwater harvesting is that the idea is that the rainwater is supposed to be taken and absorbed by the land, is not to be stored by you. That's the only logic, right and wrong at the same time, right and wrong at the same time. Okay, right? So now you're going to take a look at that, right? So it's all about how well you learn from each and every cycle of the things, right? So which means this particular technology probably has been around for very very long, right? So starting from the long time ago, we used a bucket to collect the water. Yeah, right. So now add a little bit of feng shui information for you, right? In feng shui, when we talk about the water activation, right, it is supposed to use rainwater. Yes. Right, so in feng shui, if you take a look at classical text, they will talk to you about something called mou gan shui, rootless water. What the hell is rootless water? Are water that have not touched ground yet, because any water that touched ground is basically contaminated by qi. So they want water that has no qi contamination. So you are supposed to collect rainwater to do feng shui activation. So of course today, healthcare. You just use pipe water. Tell you only, right? So no, this is basically the month of for Kui water. So Kui water is a very disciplined month. Time for you to learn something very deeply, right? So it's a deep learning month, whereby you do a little bit discipline. So there's going to be a lot of reiteration of stuff that you do, right? So reiterate, right? So do that lah, right? So let's take a look at Kui water. We go the other way around. So Kui water is of course always my personal favorite. Why? Because yeah, I'm Kui water lah. Pretty simple. Right, so Kui water is facing with indirect resource and also 7 killing. So a lot of time when you see 7 killing, you need to know that it is a moment of aggression. Right. So but again, the quality of aggression is very different one. So which means a Ping Fire 7 killing versus a Kui water 7 killing versus a Jiawu 7 killing is all different 7 killing. Right, so the funny thing about 7 killing for the rainwater is that the 7 killing itself doesn't actually attack rainwater. Yeah, Wu Earth do not attack rainwater one. The other way around, actually, the rainwater actually is trying to find way to go around Wu Earth. Right, so okay, so the Wu Earth is basically to the rainwater is called blockages. Right, so 7 killing is called blockages in terms of Wu Earth. Right, so it's like the dam. You want to call dam, you want to call the what we call water retaining wall, right? So there's a lot of places they put all this, right? So but of course a lot of time all these particular places there's going to be a relief level. So this particular one is about how you release the relief level. So IR7 killing, a lot of time I like to describe this as one of those martial art master, right? So the martial or anybody who has sufficient amount of martial art training, right? They have auto reflex. So which means that if you attack them or you do touch them, whatever it is, right, their muscle will automatically reflect. They don't need any brain to basically do this, right? So which means that this particular month rainwater is a bit on the impulsive side when doing things. They don't really think about stuff that they do. They react to stuff that they do, right? So the entire key thing is that for the rainwater is that you need to know how to release your reaction in a safe manner. So this is where the water dam is collecting too much water already. So you need to open up the dam to release the water out. But you cannot release it too fast. You see, if you release too fast, you will flood everything on the other side. Right. So that's why you need to have that little bit of a care here, to know what to release, when to release, how to release this. Or else you will be overreacting with anything because the indirect resource increase your sensitivity. You become a very sensitive, aggressive little fella. Anything said a little bit, right? So need to be careful of that, right? It's just a sensitive guy, lah, right? So this particular man water is a bit on the sensitive side, right? So if the fella is a bit overreacting on anything that you are saying or anything that you've done, forget about it. It's okay. It's fine, right? So because why water always find balance, right? So one thing about water people that they always find balance, right? So sometimes you just leave them alone, right? You leave them alone, they will come, right? So don't go and don't go and further KL is all don't further kacau them lah. So just leave the crazy fella alone, for 1 month. Right, just telling you if you are the rainwater, find a way to relieve the pressure. Don't get overreactive with the situation, right? So all this kind of stuff, you have to be careful with it, right? So now again, any positive thing about this, right? So if IR7 killing, if rainwater go into crisis, if your rainwater go into crisis, you happen to be very responsive to the crisis, right? But I don't suggest that you put yourself in a crisis situation, is it? Understand or not? If if let's say that no choice, you got put into a crisis situation this particular month, rest assured you will get out of the crisis unscratched, right? Because of the IR7 killing combination, you actually get out of the crisis unscratched, right? So now no guarantee to the people around you, okay, right? So that one doesn't give any guarantee, right? So but that's the positive side of it. Right, so let's take a look at the sin metal, right? So sin metal this particular month is a rock wealth direct resource. So always rock wealth is very associated with the entire idea of competition, right? So then direct resource is very highly associated with learning. So you got rock wealth, direct resource means that it is learning about your competitor or the competitor learn about you either way, right? Either direction, right? So this one basically telling you try not to reinvent the wheel, right? So a lot of people, too many people out there, they go through their life trying to be unique, trying to be different, trying to reinvent stuff, trying to come up with new thing, this entire idea of creation and also innovation, right? So here's the thing, right? If somebody else has already done and give a solution, right, you don't need to create new stuff, right? So like for example, this picture, if you take a look at it, it's actually the process of splitting stone, right? So his process of splitting stone, it has been used for so damn long. This particular method of wedging small little metal pieces in between the stone, right? So this massive amount of stone actually can be split just by using this small little method, right? So you don't have to come up with other method of trying to make a saw that is big enough to cut through the stone. 多余 ah, we all Chinese basically say you're just doing something, right? So if this particular method work, like continue using this particular method, right? So that's why this particular month you need to see method, try to observe what other people do, especially at an area whereby you are trying to improve or in an area you're trying to get into. um Trust that there is nothing in this particular world that is particularly unique on you. Whatever that you have gone through, whether bitter, whether sweet, whether easy, whether hard, somebody has gone through it. The question is, how can you find this somebody so that they can share the information with you? So that you don't have to, redo the entire thing. Learn from your competitor. If your competitor doing this is working well, learn from them. Right? So nothing wrong with it. Too many people waste too many time in the entire idea of trying to compete with the other party. Assure you, market right now is big enough for you to be able to earn enough without ever competing with the other party. I don't know why too many people like to compete with people, right? It's not that competition is not something that is healthy. It is healthy, but you need to know how to compete, right? So yeah, right. So try to do that, right? So like just one info for you is that this rock splitting method only work with graphite rock. Graphite rock mean that the carbon, what we call the carbon composition, come in one slate, so they can slide from each other, right? So what they do is that they just put impact on the slate lah, so the slate will open up. It doesn't work with all kind of rock. Don't try to. Okay, right. So that is the that's the part of it. I'm telling you that when you are learning from your competitor, don't just learn the surface thing. Learn more deeply. Right? So that's what direct resource is. Direct resource is about learning things in a deeper level. Right? So the one that learns shallow one is indirect resource. Indirect resource learning things in a more shallow manner. Right. So now let's look at Geng. Right. So let's look at Geng metal. Right. So Geng metal is friend star versus indirect resource. Right. So friend star indirect resource usually we classify this sort of energy as being benign. They are basically very what we call normal lah. The energy, it's not aggressive, right? It's not aggressive energy. It's not an energy that has a specific, right? So now indirect resource is curious, right? So together with the friend star, it's just a bunch of very curious fella, right? So I have this graphic here, which is a body scanner. Right, so now tell me, body scanner, is it something that is designed to be intrusive to you or not? No, they're just they're just there to do scanning, right? So somebody find that probably trying to search for you, search you is very difficult and it provided a lot of challenges, right? So what they do is that they created this body scanner. You walk into it, it does a magical scan. Then you find out that whatever that is hanging around your body, right, whether it's dangerous, not dangerous, right? It's just very benign stuff, right? But still got people who is oh no, Right. Is rainwater considered yang water? Wagner, now again, right, the definition of whether yang or yin is really depend on the state that is basically happening, right? So water can be yin water, can be yang water. Like for example, now water itself, definitely by science, that the water um atom always vibrate, right? So it always vibrate, right? So that's why water is always yang. Water and fire is always defined as yang. But within the yang, you have still water. Still water means the water that doesn't move. Without a pump, no fish inside, when it's still water. So still water is yin water, right? Whereas yang water is water that's basically moving. That's your yin and yang itself, right? But at the same time, water is also is cold, is of the yin uh circumstance, and you boil the water is hot, then it's yin water. Right, so fire also is the same, right? So fire we got man for and we got mo for, right? Yep. Right. So in fire also we got the yang fire, which is mo for the one that we do in Chu Chao. Chu Chao mean the big walk. You know, the one that go woo one. Those are called man for. Lor. Right. So then they got the mo for, which is the small fire that is used to cook medicine. That's called man for. Right. So it's smaller fire. Again, everything there are no definition whether it's yin or yang or whatever it is. It depends on the circumstance. Right, so now that's basically your Geng lah, right? You find that Geng this particular month a bit more kepo. Kepo mean busybody, that's all. Right? Geng people a bit more busybody. So if you are already naturally busybody, go and research something that's useful lah, that's all only lah. Right? Go and find a bunch of friends who got friend star. Go and find like-minded people, go and do some research. You know, maybe what is the heavy rain is yang, light rain is yin. Yes, correct. Pepper, you're correct. So that's basically yin and yang. You know, those dog and cat one. Those raining dog, cat, goat, cow, whatever animal that got rained down. Those are called heavy rain. Then you have those drizzle. Drizzle, those are called yin. Right? So so again, it's not the state of the water, it's the circumstance that the water is subject to that give them the yin or the yang side of things. Cool, right? So back to this one, right? Go and find a bunch of friends who has similar interests. Go and explore. That's all only right? Go and do some exploration this particular month, right? So in terms of your goal is that go and talk to other of your friends. Hey, how's your goal this month? Right, so you got issue with your goals, right? So you issue with your goals, you don't know what to do, maybe a bit lost, trying to give up on your New Year resolution. I know 70% of people has already given up on the New Year resolution on the 3rd weeks of the beginning of the year. That's what statistic tells us. Right, it's time for you to go and find some friend and then ask them, hey, how has been your goal around, right? So you try to draw some information, give some conclusion, all those kind of things. It's just like the magnetic scanner that you go through on it. You're just trying to find out, you're just trying to find out certain signal, trying to find out the certain direction for yourself, right? So don't get too stuck up with it lah, right? So just go and find out, just stay curious with the world and go and find out and see that how many of your friends has already given up, or for those of the friend who is on the path of achieving their goal, what have they done, what are the things, right? So you draw new information into yourself and form new conclusion. And hopefully your conclusion is not to give up lah. Right, so GF, right? So GF have hurting officer and Rockwell. Now, you see, when hurting officer Rockwell is together, so you guys know that the 7 killing hurting officer and Rockwell is belong to the bad guy clan in the BaZi world, right? So the direct officer, direct resource, direct wealth is the good guy. So the hurting officer Rockwell 7 killing is the bad guy clan. Right, so now you got 2 of the bad guy, is coming together, right? So it's coming together. Does it mean it's bad? In a traditional reading, then it's bad, right? So hurting officer Rockwell both are very show off, right? Well, show off, very competitive, right? So it's basically a showcase month for GF. GF one no showcase. Right, so again, right, showcase itself is nothing wrong, nothing wrong with showcase itself, right? So of course the entire thing right now is that how are you using the showcase, right? So you can showcase yourself as something great by pushing other people down. That's one way to do so, right? So there's one way to do so. No, I don't suggest you go there lah. When I'm going to Kuching again, Janet, that one a bit difficult Kuching, right? So I buy a plane ticket to Kuching is equivalent I buy a plane ticket to other country. We'll make some arrangement, I'll probably come over to Kuching, for some holiday and again, do some recce for excursion. Right, if I go over, sure do recce for excursion. It's like that, right? So well-staffed people, right? So well-staffed people is always like that, right? So couldn't relax, right? But anyway, back to this one, right? So it's a showcase, man. It's basically a showcase, man, right? So it's showcase, man. The thing that you need to be careful of is stepping on people's tail only, man. That's all, right? Nothing wrong with it. You want to showcase, go ahead. Right now, modern world showcasing is fine, right? So, as long as you are very respectful of, whatever that you're showcasing, right? So, don't step on people's tail, right? So, of course, with the rock wealth there, right? Take a look at your pocket, lah, right? So, if you're doing showcasing, so take a look at your pocket, whether this is something that you can, please lah, don't go and buy something like the newest, latest, most expensive stuff just to show people that you can. Right? There are people who's like that. Right? So they go and buy the newest, whatever it is, right? So they have absolutely no idea of reinvestment. So you spend money on all this rubbish stuff. Sorry lah, rubbish to me lah, right? Uh, so it's half of the fashion thing that people is showing me, and it's basically to me on my eye is rubbish. Right? So don't go and grab the newest Labubu and coming over and then tell me how great Labubu is. I will tell you it's rubbish. Right, so yeah, right. So bringing your Labubu or of course, right now, Lisa is into crybaby, right? So crybaby lah, whatever lah. Right, so don't care. Right, so you come over say that this is the greatest thing in the world. Okay lah. Right, it's up to you, right? So try not to be over claiming. Hurting officer tend to overclaim everything. Hurting officer magnify blow everything up. They have the ability. Okay, right? So again, nothing wrong with it. Don't feel like, oh, this is bad, it's whatever. No, in the olden day, it's bad because in the olden day, if you do this sort of stuff, the upper level people, so which means that, in the olden day, there's this class delineation, very clear class delineation. Royals, nobles, noble, peasant, peasant. Right? So it's basically that. So when you showcase, right? So, when you are nobles, you showcase too much. The royals doesn't like it, they may end you, right? So if you are the peasants, if the what we call the nobles doesn't like you so much, they may end up in problem lah. So when we say that, the hurting officer causes a lot of law and litigation. So the law and litigation is there to help the usually upper level people. Law and litigation is not here to help the peasant one. Tell you first, right? So they will use this against you. Right, so Dragon Teeth need to bring Lopan. No need lah, right? So don't need to bring Lopan. Your handphone is good enough already. We are not there to do 5-degree measurement, right? Rough direction is good enough. Your handphone's compass is good enough already, right? So most of the time we are there to basically take a look at landform. So you don't need to do any measurement. You just need to be able to recognize landform, because once you are able to recognize landform one time, you go anywhere also you recognize. So it's like being attacked by a tiger. After you're being attacked by a tiger, no matter where you go, you will recognize the tiger. Okay, right. So we are just there go to recognition and also taking a look at the what you call the actual landform. Right. So and I'll tell you what theory to apply. Right. So no need to bring any lopan. Right. So of course, if you insist to bring one of the smaller one can So please don't bring the 12 inches that one that I have. Okay. So Wolf got EG and also Friendstar, right? EG and Friendstar is a very good combination when it comes to sharing growing ideas. Right? So not sharing ideas, growing ideas. Right? So this one is good. If you have an idea, you might want to grab a bunch of people and move the idea together, right? So of course, this particular example, always the best one is Apple. You guys know that Apple have not invented anything ever. Right, a lot of you think that Apple is a very advanced technological whatever this company. They have not invented anything. So what they do is that they are very good at consolidating technology. Yep, super good, right? So it's like tablets, they did not invent the tablets. The handphone, they did not invent the handphone. Every single technology inside Apple is not invented by them. It's basically somebody else has already invented it, but the other guy did a very bad job in terms of bringing it to the market. So Apple just bring the product to the market and it's great form, right? So it's basically EG Friendstar is that, right? So if you got any idea at all, right? So go out, grab a few of your friends, sit down and work together with them, present the idea out, tell them how you want to improve this, right? So all this kind of stuff, right? So of course, being the negative part about being EG is that EG just got idea, then try to refine the idea, that probably will never go into the implementation stage. The problem with Friendstar is that it's trying to be agreeable. So when you try to be agreeable, it become no direction. So you have idea generating machine that's trying to be agreeable, that doesn't really have an implementation direction. So you guys will go around the circle. So that's the negative side of things. Right? So so that's why if you don't want the negative side of things, right? So you need to kick a 7 killing it. Right, 7 killing will basically break the cycle. So break the cycle a bit, so that you can go and what we call go and implement some of the things. It's the important part, right? So just implement some of the things, right? So worth, don't go sit around and just have great idea, talking about great idea, but never get into implementation. Right, put some money on the table, lah, basically. All right, so now let's take a look at the thing fire, small little candle fire, right? So direct wealth hurting officer, right? So direct wealth hurting officer is the simplest one you can do is called show off your wealth, right? So or show off your talent, right? So show off your talent, show off because the direct wealth is actually the energy that has to do with getting things done. Right? So direct wealth is the energy that is attacking. So when we talk about direct wealth, that time I'll give you the analogy of how direct wealth works. Right? So and then hurting officer is a bit on the show off, right? So this one, the dangerous part about direct wealth hurting officer is that you are telling people that you are rich. That's the most dangerous part about direct wealth hurting officer. Right? So you go and let people know that you are rich, but also at the same time you can be on the positive side is that you are showing people that you are capable. That's the positive side of thing, right? So now just imagine, right? So a lot of people, the problem with the wealth star is that there's just too many. You hide butter, you don't hide the tea. You butter more important, is it? Come, little boy, just wait. Just wait. Boy, just wait. Later take you out for breakfast, okay? Okay. Okay. Want to go heels? Okay. The heels open the today. Cat's right there. Yeah, I know the cat's right. Kitty cat. Yes, kitty cat. That's butter, right? Okay. Good boy. Right. That's the sleepy little boy, right? So later need to bring him out for breakfast, right? So back to this one, right? So it's a process of basically concentratedly showcasing your talent. It's okay if you're doing that, showcasing your talent, right? So showcase your result, so that people know how the thing is do, right? So it's it's like a concentrated torch cutter, lah. Right, so have you guys seen how torch cutter work before? Please don't use your naked eye to look at the torch cutter, right? It's very dangerous and it will hurt your eye one. Because you basically burn your retina. Yeah, the heat is so intense, the light is so intense that you're not supposed to do that, right? So that's why just be careful at this particular month, right? So I don't see anything that is too bad about a hurting officer direct wealth, right? So you'll probably get into taxation issue. Right, so because hurting officer, a lot of people like to just tell you that you get into trouble with government, right? So government related thing. So question, what government related thing would you get in trouble with when it come to money related matter? Is usually taxation, right? Makes sense, right? So you better get your taxation right, like. And by the way, April right now, March is basically the month whereby people submit taxation. Right, so right now you submit taxation, the government know that you got money, they come and check you, all those kind of stuff. Just be careful, right? So being fired, right? So you got indirect wealth and also EG. So again, EG is the energy that has to do with creativity, innovation, right? So indirect wealth is basically opportunistic work, right? So opportunistic work, indirect EG, right? So now I give you one of these what we call truck. These are truck that is used in mining area, right? So just want you to notice that even the tires is bigger than the person like 3 times. So you can see this sort of invention, right? So this sort of invention or advancement is actually being done, right? So that they can move massive amount of earth at the same time. Right? So they are maximizing on the opportunity, right? So because they know that the faster that they process the earth, the faster they can get riches out of earth or the minerals out of earth. So they have invented this massive giant machine that's basically can work, right? So now right now it is still driven by a human. I'm pretty much sure give it a bit of a time, right? So a AI would be put inside to drive this thing. So this will further even enhance the efficiency of this sort of machine. It's going to be working. And of course, if you've seen enough, right? So this one day may become transformer, destructicon. Right, so yeah, right, so it makes humongous tasks become easier, right? So with the indirect wealth and EG, so which means that you are able to apply the best creative, innovative area into this particular place, which is awesome, right? So so yeah, Pink Fire is pretty much quite awesome, right? So you got Ewood, right? So you got Ewood today, right? Ewood got direct officer, direct wealth, right? So again, this again is another two energy that is well sought after, right? So it's well sought after in the world because direct officer has to do with, right? So now this one is called got money, got power. Got money, got power means it's ultimate. Right? So Yao Kun, Yao Sai, right? Yao Kun, Yao Sai, right? So what you have there on the graphic is a wrecking ball, right? Basically a wrecking ball, right? So it's basically talking about leveraging. So it's about leveraging area. So you guys know that wrecking ball is just a big clump of metal. It can be stone as well, and then it is linked using a very weak, comparatively a very weak rope, so which is the yeet wood. Right? So it's basically telling you that even a weak rope, when you work together with a strong enough of a force, it can causes the damage that it requires. It can causes you power that is beyond your expectation. Right? So which means this particular month, try to leverage on the more powerful people, the more powerful people. Leverage on your discipline and also leverage on your what we call your effort. Right? So it's trying to be disciplined and to be effort. It's actually called momentum. Right? Momentum mean that things that's moving keep on moving, things that's not moving stop moving. Right? So it's a momentum month for you. Right? So push the momentum lah. Right? So of course if you push it towards the making money, then you make more money. Right? So if you push it towards, let's say, making yourself more healthier, then you become much more healthier, right? So again, right, please, when you read the direct wealth, right, please don't just think about money, 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 money. It can be applied to other people. Right? It can even be applied to improving your relationship. Direct wealth just mean effort only. You put your effort into relationship building, then it helps with relationship building, and you put it in maintaining and building of your health, then it become maintaining and building of your health. Right? It's your choice one, where the energy direct. Right? So of course, if you put into things that is what we call money generating related, then it enhances that particular part. Right? Where you direct, then where it enhances. Hey, sweetie, come. Sweetie, come over. Sweetie, come over. You wanna come over, sweetie? You wanna come over? Come. Wait, Come, come, come. You don't wanna come here. Never mind. Right? The cat resists, or else I would have shown you the cat. Right, the cat resists. Maybe I can catch this fella. Brother, one of you here. Come show you guys my cat, not mine, somebody else's. Right, the fella is called Butter because he's brown. Getting confused already, right? What happened? What's happening? Oh, trying to run. Okay, 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 run, run. That's my new additional stray cat. Right, the white color one don't want to come, or else I'll show you the fella. Right, so okay, Jiawood. Right, so Jiawood got 7K indirect wealth. Right, so now again, every time see 7K means I got risk. Right, so when it comes to indirect wealth, means this is financial risk. Low level, right? Low level reading, right? But anyway, lah, right? So 7K indirect wealth is opportunistic money. This combination in the outside, practitioner, they will tell you can hit lottery. Now, whether you believe or not, Jiawood, go buy some lottery and see, then come back and tell me. Right, so this one, the graphic, if you take a look at it, is basically throwing a spear, right? So, spear is a very great invention in the human world, right? So, because why it give you the advantage of being able to attack a far away distance enemy, without getting yourself retaliated. That's what spear give you, right? So that's why spear, arrow, all of this, right? So like right now is missile bullets. Right? So give you the advantage of being able to hurt your enemy without. Yeah. But the thing about spear is that once it leave your hand, you got no control. Right? Once it leave your hand, you got no control. Right? So a lot of time this one is basically driven by, you want to call luck, you want to driven by skill set. Right? So it's a situation whereby there could be a lot of opportunity. right? You see a lot of opportunity, but these opportunities are usually very, very risky, right? So for a Jiawu is how much can you risk? That's the question for you to ask. How much can you risk? Right? So like for example, if they throw a spear, then maximum is that you lose the spear. That's it. Right? If it doesn't hit, then you lose the spear. Right? So nothing much, right? So as long as you don't die, you can always go and retrieve the spear. Right? So same thing with the Jiawood right now is that how much do you allocate to lose? The idea is how much do you allocate to lose. So if let's say that you go in, you do something, you actually lose the thing, it's given that you're already prepared to lose it. Because if you don't lose it and your strike, your throw is correct, then you gain, you might gain an entire deer for dinner. Right? Makes sense, right? So it's about the exchange of things, right? So no, go ahead lah. It's just that don't put everything in. Right? Because you put everything in, then if that's the last fear that you have, and you got no other way of producing new spear anymore, right? So then probably you need to reconsider throwing the spear, right? Try to use other method, right? So yeah, right? So that's basically your Jiawood for this particular month, right? So that's your 10-day master, all 10 of them, right? So all 10 of them, right? So hey, go back. Ayaya, ayaya, right? So ayaya, never mind lah. So need to change the menu a little bit, right? So no worry about that, right? So yes, that's your 10-day master for this, right? So for each of your day master, you need to right now come up with strategy that go and explore what is the potential that you have, right? Explore potential means stuff that you already own, stuff that you already have, and ask yourself, how can I utilize this stuff? The stuff can be money, can be time, can be relationship with people, right? So Jiawood is under your Simon. You don't read it that way. It's just if your day master is Jiawood. I don't care where the rest of the Jiawood is. Doesn't apply to Jiawood under your hour pillar, right? So it doesn't apply to that. Okay, it only apply to your day master. So which means that this particular month for people who are Jiawood, they seems to be exposed to risky opportunity. Right? So if you are exposed to risky opportunity, your choices is to how much can you afford to lose. Right? You lock down on how much you afford to lose, go into the market. Right? So but if you cannot lose and that's everything that you have, I suggest you don't. Because why? This is just 1 month. Okay, next month the energy change, right? So don't try to do everything. All right, so guys, that's it for today's session, right? So see you guys again tomorrow. So tomorrow either we're gonna do the Qimen forecast or the Feng Shui forecast. I forgot which one that I plan to do, right? But either one, right? So take care, bye.